I might have not said this already, but you know, every time when I tell you to focus on yourself, I'm going to tell you something different in this video so I'm just going to say this because when it comes to really mutual friends, you have to realize what relationship do other people have with each other. Because you have to realize that you might have not known that someone else is friends with a different person. And you have to realize that the relationship that you have with someone else is not really the same with someone else, if you know what I mean. Because, for example, you may have met each other in the same place, but some people are friends with other people just to get information. It could be humor, it could be things in common. And you need to start reflecting on this as well, because I know I tell you to focus on yourself and to focus on your inner circle, to meet like-minded people. Hello to anyone that's new to my channel, and welcome back to anyone that comes to my channel regularly. I'm going to say that, you know, for example, when you're trying to figure out the world, you try and figure out how the world works, you try and figure out how people think. It really just comes down to business, and there is other stuff as well, but I'm just going to tell you what I really know. Before studying business, I knew nothing about it. Like, for example, people would just say things, I'll just believe it. People would just like show me stuff, and then I'll be like, how did they actually do it? Not actually knowing how they do it. So not to repeat myself, but I studied business for 2 years in secondary school. And then I went to college and I did a level 2 and a level 3 course. And I studied business for 3 years. So that's already 5 years before I went to university. And I am going to say that studying business is not the same as actually putting business into practice. Studying business, it really teaches you about time management, discipline, and really how to budget and how to lead a group of people. But when it comes to the business side of things, I'm just going to tell you this, because when it comes to business, it's not really about what you gain, but it's really about solving people's problems. And some people have more than one problem. So for example, people might not be as confident, people may not communicate as often what it is that they really want. So that can be 2 problems in itself, and some people only have one. But you have to realize that if you really want something, you have to just communicate. And what I'm going to say about business is because you need to tell people what they really want to hear. And you need to show people that you're confident, you need to look presentable. Otherwise, people won't really listen to what you have to say. Because even you clicking this video is because I presented myself in a decent way, or you're very curious with what I have to say. You're not only making decisions for yourself, but to make it for other people. And that's only so you can save time. Sometimes the decisions that you make, it can really help people save money. But then you have to realize people need to experience these things themselves. So that's why the things that you truly want to do, you have to realize it's going to take a lot of time. You need to make so many mistakes that you become like a different person. Because you have to realize you learn more through your mistakes than when things are going your way. You have places to be, you have things to do. And you need to realize that when you're in business, it's because you need to start going to places to learn things. You need to start asking questions because you don't know everything. And I'm going to add as well, it's better for you to be a student than a teacher. It's because when it comes to a student, you start learning things. But then when you become a teacher, not like a profession, but just like teacher in general, because when you're always having conversations with people, if every time people are learning from you, but you don't take anything away, you realize that it stops you growing because it makes you reach a limit. So everyone in business should know this, and people that aren't in business, they will know this, but it's more important for people that do business because, you know, for example, when you're given certain money, and it's not really about how much it is. Let's say, for example, that you're given little bits of money, you're given huge amounts of money. You need to realize that if you're always spending the money that you get and you don't save anything at all, you realize that you're always going to be broke. And people that are broke-minded that say, I can't do this, and they're always like thinking about how they're losing money, but they don't think about how to gain money. You have to realize that you're always going to break even, or you're always going to have like a negative amount. By having a negative mindset while having a negative amount of money in your account, it only holds you back. Because when people stop giving you money, you have to realize that it's really up to you to really figure things out. And even if you are making money, you need to find ways of really making more money, and you need to find ways to really improve. If you have all the wealth in this world, but instead you're not even healthy at all, you realize that the wealth the wealth won't mean anything to you at all. Because some people, they would rather have all the money in the world, but their health is not good. But instead, it should be the other way around, where your health is good and you attract money to you. No matter how long it takes, even if it takes you longer, the one thing I want you to take away from this video, you face consequences by taking no action, and you face consequences while taking the wrong action. So I'll repeat that. You face consequences when you take no action, and you face consequences when you take the wrong action. And sometimes by you surrounding yourself by the wrong people, you realize that you're going to be like those people. The last thing that I'm going to say before I go, business cannot be mixed with pleasure, because when business is mixed with pleasure, you start doing the bare minimum, you start accepting the bare minimum, and you start delaying things where you'll say, I'll do this later, because you're with other people. So that's why when you're focused on your business, you have to focus on your business. And when it's time for you to relax, because you do need to recover and you do need breaks, you should switch off and not think about your business at all. Thank you for watching this video. Anyone that's new, welcome to the channel. Anyone that's returning to the channel, a massive thank you, and I do truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in another video.